Modern science maintains that the water structure of each person's body is identical to the structure of the water in the place where he was born. Therefore, our internal connection to our place of birth is preserved throughout our life. And that means that the concept of homeland has not only a lofty poetical meaning, but also a quite specific physical content. Nowhere in the world is the water the same. Breaking its way to the surface, through minerals and ores, water assimilates the vibrations of the soil and information about its specific biological and energetical features. We tested this absolutely marvelous water, which is sold in large bottles, and the producer puts a label on them which says it's the best water in the world, but it is empty and dead. True, it's pure and it's good, and some minerals have been added, but this is dead water in which there is no energetics and there is no life. Most likely, people do not sense any particular difference between naturally pure and artificially purified water. But any animal will always choose water from a spring, because this water is loaded with natural energies.
Doamne doctor, înțeleg că apa poartă vibrația locului pământului.
De aceea apa din România, trebuie să știți că ajunge în multe alte țări. Noi exportăm apa noastră, deoarece este o apă benefică. Izvoarele unui loc arată, de fapt, vibrația locului. De exemplu, unde este petrol, știm că sunt țări unde este petrol mult, dar nu este apă acolo, potabilă. Nu este apă, nu este vegetație. România, de exemplu, este o dumbravă minunată, cu ape curgătoare și multe izvoare naturale, pământ sfânt. Păcat, în schimb, de energiile negative cu care ne poluăm de ceva vreme apa. Pentru că noi influențăm apa, dar și apa de calitate ne poate schimba pe noi. Chiar, de exemplu, și caracterul nostru îl poate schimba, cum o să vedem în film.
A major part of our brains are water. So the water and the easy movement of the water molecules and so on will leave part of that imprint. So yes, to some extent, the water is implicated in the patterning of the information in the brain.
Now when you look at organs, say the heart or the lung or muscles or the brain, then all that you can see in a simple NMR experiment is the water in these organs. The water, your head is full of water. There is nothing else but water, almost.
That means there is a human being here, there is a water. And this water, if this water has very many kind of information, so if that water is injected to his human body, this information will be converted to this human being, and that may change the character of human being.
Let us see how this type of water affects human blood. The doctor is drawing blood from a patient's finger. Using a special microscope, we shall be able to see the condition of her body from this drop.
These are red blood cells, and they've lost their electrical charge, so they're all stuck together in a formation called a rouleau. Here's a huge symplast. Symplasts are associated with heart disease and arthritis and lung disease and many other conditions that could be coming in the future.
The doctor asks the patient to drink a small amount of structurized water. After 12 minutes, the doctor again draws blood from the patient and studies it.
So you can see that the cells then become buoyant, they become slippery, and they have their electrical charge, so they repel each other. That allows them to carry oxygen And it means that we're changing the pH of the blood back to an aerobic environment rather than an anaerobic environment. I think that's utterly amazing that just drinking water could do that.
Traditional Eastern medicine has been based for many centuries on the vibrations and resonance of the body's water content. The pulse indicates if the resonance tone is right. It is believed that the pulse may be strong, weak, cold, or hot. On the basis of this, an experienced physician carries out a kind of energy scan of the body, makes a diagnosis, and prescribes treatment. We do not heal with water, because a person, the human body, is water. The person simply reads the mantras in order to correct the bad water he has inside. How this hidden effect works is not known. In all the world's religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, it is the practice to recite a prayer before taking food, or to consecrate the food during major religious holidays. How often do we stop and think, what for? And how did the certainty arise in such dissimilar religions that this is the right thing to do? Why did something that science is only now trying to understand seem obvious to our ancestors? It turns out that the frequency of vibrations in the prayers of any religion uttered in any language is 8 Hertz, which corresponds to the frequency of the oscillations of the Earth's magnetic field. Therefore, a prayer pronounced with love creates a harmonic structure in the water that is an ingredient of absolutely all foods. We now have some idea about how this happens through the structurization of water clusters, water molecules. Therefore, we can take some purely practical advice from this. To sit down at the table in a very good mood, and under no circumstance to dine with cruel or aggressive-minded people, because this will have a direct destructive effect on our health. In 1995, Dr. Emoto Masaru was the first one to record musical impressions on water. In Dr. Emoto Masaru's laboratory, they allowed water to listen to music, after which they flash froze the water. And then, under the microscope, they could clearly see the crystals that the water had formed. Here is what the music of Bach looks like. Mozart, Beethoven, heavy rock, sometimes it's just certain eruptions, emotional ones, which cause such absolutely negative results. I can't recall a case in which such a negative spewing out of emotions as this happened at a classical music concert. Experiments show that aggression causes a sharp change in water's memory. Such water can provoke an aggressive state in hitherto calm people. Strange as it may seem, evil interacts more easily and simply. Apparently this has to do with the sensitivities of human beings, who always feel negative things more acutely. Dr. Emoto has conducted another interesting experiment. He placed rice into 3 glass beakers and covered it with water. And then every day for a month, he said, "Thank you," to one beaker, "You're an idiot," to the second, and the third one he completely ignored. After 1 month, the rice that had been thanked began to ferment, giving off a strong, pleasant aroma. The rice in the second beaker turned black, and the rice that was ignored began to rot. Dr. Emoto thinks that this experiment provides an important lesson, especially with regard to how we treat children. We should take care of them, give them attention, and converse with them. Indifference does the greatest harm.
Tell some dreamy story, but almost.
Doamne doctor, am auzit bine, noi structurăm propria apă din corp în timp ce recitim mantre sau ne rugăm?
Da, pentru că frecvența înaltă a rugăciunilor din orice religie, pentru că ne rugăm într-o religie, avem mantre în altă religie, este în jur de 8 Hz. Exact cât este de fapt frecvența de oscilație a câmpului magnetic terestru și nu-i nimic întâmplător.
Deci, orice rugăciune la 8 Hz vibrație structurează apa și o armonizează la câmpul magnetic al terei?
Da, se produce de fapt o vindecare și este și gratuit. Da? Noi facem asta la Raiocomp în clinică. O rugăciune deci rostită cu iubire produce o structură armonioasă a apei din corpul nostru, o încarcă pur și simplu benefic.
Cu alte cuvinte, rugăciunea prin apă ne încarcă energetic pozitiv?
Da, ne ridică vibrația apei din corp și ne vindecă. De fapt, este o autovindecare.
Punem apa să asculte muzică?
Da, Beethoven, Mozart. Vibrații înalte, deci. De fapt, nu trebuie să vă mirați, este de fapt meloterapie. Noi lucrăm aici în clinică cu meloterapie și vindecăm cancerul.
Doamne doctor, aceste informații aduse de fizica cuantică, care studiază energia apei versus compoziția chimică, cu ce ne ajută?
Putem să înțelegem puterea rugăciunii în însănătoșire, de exemplu, pentru că din punct de vedere științific, în timp ce ne rugăm, structurăm propria apă din corp.
Să vorbim despre efectele miraculoase ale apei sfințite.
Apa sfințită este o apă structurată de o persoană cu vibrație înaltă, prin credință de preot, care recită din Biblie.
Înseamnă că Biblia este o carte codată, rugăciuni care conțin cuvinte, sunete, înalt vibraționale.
Da, exact așa este. Și când mergem la biserică, noi mergem de fapt în vibrații înalte. Acolo auzim acele melodii, acele sunete. E ca o meloterapie. E ca o meloterapie a Bibliei. Da, apa se structurează în corpul nostru și noi ne simțim mai bine fizic și mai emoțional în prezența acestor vibrații înalte.
We have totally undisputable evidence that prayer influences sick people to get better, and it has caused absolutely fantastical recoveries, such as the spread of gangrene stopping suddenly in a person who already had it. With holy water, when it's poured over sick animals or a dying plant, they revive. Those are the facts. And no physical chemist currently is able to understand it. They simply can't. January the 18th. It is the eve of the Orthodox feast of the Epiphany. 2 flasks are filled with ordinary tap water. Early in the morning, one of them is set inside the church, near the vessel over which the sacrament of sanctification is to be performed. Every year on January 19th, the faithful and even non-believers hurry into churches to pick up some of the baptismal water. It is believed to possess extraordinary properties. In order to confirm or refute this, the 2 flasks were taken to the laboratory for study immediately after the service. Here the water was frozen in a cryogenic chamber and photographed under the microscope. The crystals of the tap water looked like a chaotic, diffuse spot. While the water that had been in the church had the rectilinear, symmetrical form of a 6-pointed star. It is well known that holy water has a very powerful and stable structure. This water can pass on its properties. Take only 10 grams of it and dilute it in 60 liters of common water, and the whole amount will have the properties of holy water. Perhaps scientists will tell us sometime what prayer is. Perhaps scientists will tell us sometime what happens with human nature under the influence of divine grace. In my view, what Jesus did represented an informational influence in the water. He acted with his spirituality. He acted through higher spiritual powers. And it is now quite reasonable to imagine changing water in such a way that it would become fairly firm.
It could be radiation, but could it be only subtle energy? And we are very interested in how subtle energy can be detected by a material.
In our time, everybody is sure that weather on the planet is determined by cyclones and anticyclones. We accept the weatherman's daily forecasts as inedible. Actually, we are waiting for water to make its appearance. Evaporating and turning into whimsical clouds and towering thunderheads, it creates the architectonics of the sky. The countless shades of sunrise and sunset, the rainbows that shoot across the sky, all of them result from the refraction of light rays by the moisture in the atmosphere. Clouds carry this moisture over great distances, and it spills down as rain. Rain, hail, snow and mist, winds and storms, gales and hurricanes, all of these complex processes depend on water's mood. We try to second-guess how it is going to behave, and where on the earth it will bestow its favors, and where it will unleash its wrath. The most we can do is to observe these processes from space, but only observe them. But how alluring the thought is of subjugating the weather. What a sweet bait that is for human vanity. Many peoples have preserved the practice of influencing weather and atmospheric phenomena. These rituals are carefully passed down, unchanged from generation to generation. If my tributes have been convincing enough, if I have chosen the right time and the right place, and have recited the mantras correctly, and from a pure heart, then the Lord of the water gives us water. We do not place much trust in such actions, which may be met with a smile these days. Could it be that just one man, not some huge modern laboratory with the latest technologies, but just a person, could influence a natural process solely by the force of his desire?
And it was an outdoor wedding outside a museum in Ontario. And, well, we didn't bring umbrellas, but some people did. And the sky was all overcast, and the rain started to come. That was half an hour before the wedding. And it started to rain, all the umbrellas went up. And so I and two other students said, okay, let's meditate for better weather. Within a minute, an opening in the clouds came, and the sun just shone right down in this area. Only, not all over, just shone right down this area.
By the summer of 1991, Israel had no rain for 2 years. The water in the country's only freshwater lake, Lake Kinneret, had fallen 15 centimeters below the critical level. Then 10,000 Israelis gathered at the Wailing Wall to pray for rain. On the third day, rain came down on the country in torrents. Many people explain this fact as simple coincidence. Belief in coincidence is neither scientific nor religious. From a scientific point of view, there is scientific determinism, while from a religious standpoint, there are things that are done, which have an influence on the outcome. Coincidence is a way in which people try to escape bearing any responsibility. Just as the cry of a bird in the mountains can cause a powerful avalanche, or the motion of a butterfly's wing can change the weather over an entire continent, likewise people can launch global processes solely by the power of their thought. And that is no exaggeration. Not a single scientist who is familiar with systems theory doubts that. It is entirely a question of waiting for a moment when the system is in a state of instability. In a phase of instability, the motion of thought alone is sufficient for the system to start to change. I do not always see it when my own mistake or sin comes back to me in another guise, although, essentially, it is a single unit. Whatever it is that I did wrong returns to me, not as punishment, but as a result. Everything begins in water. In a certain sense, we can say that everything originates in water, and in water, everything comes to an end.
Doamnă doctor, este impresionant câtă forță, câtă putere subtilă are apa, cel mai natural mediu vindecător pentru noi.
De aceea trebuie să o păstrăm pură, prin gândurile noastre, prin inimile noastre și prin rugăciunile noastre.
Doamnelor și domnilor, emisiunea a ajuns la final. Vă mulțumim foarte mult pentru atenția dumneavoastră. Până data viitoare să beți foarte multă apă pură și să fiți sănătoși
Și spirituali.